G'day guys, welcome back to SuperCoach with DR and welcome to the round 9 review. Pretty much a par score for me this week, maybe a little bit above par, but what I'm really happy with is the fact that I have managed to get back inside that top 1k. So season rank of 928, really happy with that. My aim was to get inside the top 1k in the next fortnight, so got there a week early, but certainly not counting my chickens yet. This game can throw a number of spanners at you, so who knows what will happen next week. But before I do get into the video, Jords has invited Spills and I onto the channel tomorrow night for a Q&A session, so looking really forward to that. That's why I've tried to get this round review out a little bit earlier than usual. And a big shout out to Jacob Tyrrell. He was a big fan, well, he is a big fan of the channel, and he was our umpire today. I coached my under-11 team down at Hurstbridge, and you did a ripping job, mate. The best umpire we've had this year. So thanks for your support, mate, and I hope you enjoy the video. But let's get into it. I will just get straight into the side. Pretty happy this week, as I said. Always good to go a little bit above par. So I did end up making the 2 trades this week. Was really tempted to double down and grab RCD and Poulter while they were both on the bubble, but I did decide to go 1 up, 1 down. Decided to grab Poulter and also grab myself a forward premium that hit the ton. So can't complain too much, but was disappointed that I couldn't quite manage to grab RCD. But who knows, may even be enough value in him this week for me to downgrade someone like a Tommy Powell, but we'll see how we go. So in the defense, you can see that no one really set the world on fire here. Just some okay-ish type scores. So the Seagull, just under 100. Stewart, exactly the same. It's really not what you want from your D1 to D2, but when you've got people like Jack Bowes that pushed out a 45-odd type score, then you can't really complain. But you do want these blokes to be going 105 plus, but given the fact they're only 2 points away from the ton, you can't complain too much with that, I don't think. Shorty with a 101, so 3 points more, but doesn't look so much better to see 3 figures rather than the 2. Ridley, 105, so didn't actually manage to catch this game, but isn't it great to see him again go to 3 figures? Now, he's got a couple of scores in the 80s the last couple of weeks, a 105 now, so this bloke is now down to 481k. So if you're a non-owner, this is absolutely perfect for you, and I think given the fact that he's got that 105, you've got a little bit more security that you can jump on, or a little bit more confidence that you can jump on him now. But at that price, it's a crazy price Rot Ritters can deliver. Stephen Mate, 95. So similar to last week, he was on 40-odd at quarter time, and I thought, beautiful. Here's another one of those 140-odd scores coming, but really slowed up in the second half. Look, the conditions weren't great for Stephen May, but to punch out a 95 when you got Stewart, Seagull, just punching out a 98, 3 points less, then again, I'm not complaining. But you want to be seeing, I suppose 95 to 100 most weeks from May, and you're happy. Murphy obviously didn't play, really disappointing with concussion. Mansell, 23. He's just one of those dud rookies, unfortunately, but I suppose it's better than having no one there. And Tommy Highmore, one thing that Rats did mention, because look, I didn't think that Highmore played the best game, but Rats did mention in his presser that he was impressed with the way Tommy Highmore put his body on the line. So hopefully that's good for his job security, and he gets at least one more week, because he did single him out in particular. So great to see him play, but yeah, we want a 60 plus from Tommy Highmore, don't we? Into the midfield, so Clary Oliver, 140. Beautiful from this bloke. Look, I've said it for weeks and weeks now. He's one of those must-have midfielders that you just want to have in your side. I was a little bit worried that Kerno might go to him, but that wasn't the case in the end. He was totally fine, Clary, and I think it was in the last quarter, he just had a lot of junk time possessions, which added to his score as well. But I was surprised he was on about 12 possessions at half-time on a score of 69. So he must have either used the ball really well. Again, I didn't get to see all of this match, or else most of them must have been contested. I haven't taken a really close look at the numbers yet, but I'll do that before the stocky this week. Walsh, 111. Look, he let us down slightly last week with an 89, but the man was back this week, found a heap of the ball, and when I was watching anyway, just had on a string. So maybe when I wasn't watching, he had some quieter patches, but a 111 from Walshy, we'll take that every week, I think. Top 8 midfielder, in my opinion. Zerrett, don't know what happened with him, but I did notice on Big Footy that the tag was on him. I think it might have been Caleb Sarong. So a 64 for Merritt. Yeah, you don't want that, but he has been in ripping form over the last 4 to 5 weeks. So I can forgive him for one down game, but I'd really like another solid month of good football from him. Titch, now warned you in the stock market video last week, do not get too excited with this bloke because his 140-odd score last week was something out of the blue for him this season. Now, 76, it's just not what we want from one of our midfield premiums. Not any of our premiums, but particularly in the midfield from one of our big dogs. So I'm still not recommending this bloke. Look, he's got a season average now of 103.8, but when I brought in Tom Mitchell, I wanted a season average minimum 110 plus. So the fact he's given me around, well, it's not even a 103 he's given me, it'd be closer to 100 odd, I think. Yeah, it's not ideal. So I'd still be very, very wary of jumping on Titch. I probably wouldn't do it before the bye. So I'd wait until he's had his bye, reassess his form over the next 3 weeks, and maybe look to jump on then. But I certainly wouldn't look to get this bloke into your side at the moment. He's giving me headaches. He really is. Rory Laird, beautiful. So season average now of a 105.3. He's had a couple of really nice weeks now. What did he get? About 35 touches, I think. Slotted a goal, which was really, really nice as well. I think it was his first goal for the season, so that helped to boost his score. But look, even a 120, I think it was a 125 plus game at least, but owner's bias, I suppose, with Rory Laird. Brayshaw, the young man, did bounce back. So just had a shocker last week against Brisbane. We know he didn't get tagged, playing a little bit of a different role, but he was fantastic. Well, the data suggests that he was anyway. So 126, season average now, back over the ton. Thank you very much, Andy. Glad that you bounced back for us this week, mate. Now, Tommy Powell, I love this bloke. He's just been a super, super rookie, but if I'm looking at his price now, he's 375k coming off of 45. I'm thinking, is this the time to either downgrade him or upgrade him? My plan was to keep him right up until his bye and then reassess then. But given the fact that 45's now in his system, I think it was a 70 odd last week, that price will start to come down soon. So it's a big decision whether or not we hold onto Tommy Powell. We know what he can do. We know what his ceiling's like for a rookie. He's been super, as I said, for us this year. But at some stage, we do need to move these blokes on. And given the fact that's going to be in his system, it may be the week this week. But we'll talk about that more in the stock market video. James Jordan, what a fantastic rookie. Talk about Powell being a really great rookie. This bloke has been on fire. So I think his role on the side is a really good role for SuperCoach, particularly given the fact that Viney's out at the moment. If he had have used the ball better, this could easily have been a 110 plus type score. But what I was most impressed about with JJ was his tackle count. I think it was 12, may have even been more, but the last time I checked it was 12. You can't ask much more from a young bloke, can you, than laying 12 tackles, firing the pill. Look, there are a few times I noticed when I was watching the game where he did a couple of hack kicks out of defence, but they're those type of kicks where he's under a lot of pressure and you just want to get out of Dodgeville, basically, and clear the ball. So I can forgive him a little bit for some of that efficiency and could not be happier to have this bloke playing on my field. It's really kept me from getting another midfield upgrade at the moment because I've been wrapped with what Powell's been producing, really happy with what Jordan's doing at the moment. So, yeah, I might even look to get Laird, swing him back into the defensive line. But if you look at Mansell, Highmore and Murphy, they're probably not an ideal price to trade out at the moment. So a lot to think about there, but wrap with JJ. Scotty, a bit quieter from him this week with a 57. We're almost used to getting 70-plus scores from him over the last sort of 3 to 4 weeks, weren't we? But look, 57 from Scott. He still made some cash, and I'm okay with that. He's got a really solid role on the side, I think. Although he didn't set the world on fire, I can't see him getting dropped. So, okay with that, particularly given the fact it wasn't on the field. Poulter, yeah, 66. I'll take that every day of the week. So I was hoping for a 60-plus score. Didn't even have him on as the emergency. I was going to, then I thought, no, I'll play it a little bit safe with Scotty because I'm just not sure how he'll go. Remember, he did play pretty weak opposition last week, but coming up against the Swannies, they're a pretty good side, I think, this year. So a 66, that's right on his season average. Smack bang on. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. He managed to make, about 60 odd K. So, yeah, wrap with him. DPP status, you can always look to swing him forward, mid if you need him. So, yep, happy with that. 5, loophole. Didn't get to use him this week or didn't need to use him. Maxi Gawn and Grundy, so not the best games from them. Look, Grundy came up against Hickey and is a pretty solid ruckman, isn't he, Hickey? I did have the VC on Grundy, just mainly due to his current form, but didn't work out for the VC, but 109, I'm not complaining too much from Brody. And Maxi Gawn, so I was really worried at half-time. I think he was on about 37 from memory. And then the rain set in the second half. And I think in about the first 10 minutes, he'd doubled that 37 to go around 70, I think. So, yeah, the rain really did help him. Lots of hit-outs to advantage. Got a nice intercept contested mark, which also boosted his score that quarter. And, look, I was expecting more, I must admit, given the fact that Pitney isn't the best ruckman out there. Luke Jackson wasn't in the side, so I am a little bit worried about his ceiling moving forward, and I may need to trade in another captaincy option, I think. But Maxi and Brody, they're going to be the number 1 and number 2 ruckman in the comp, so if you don't have that combo at the moment, it's something that you'll need to do, but you'd be wrapped if you don't have Max, because you can probably jump on him next week at around 6.15, I think. And Flynn, he finally came back, delivered a ton. Cash Gen is going again with him. So he now finds himself at 316k. Absolutely fantastic. Decisions about whether we trade him out before the buy or hold him right up. But yeah, I don't think many of us are going to be able to hold him right up until the buys if we want to keep upgrading outside. Because if you look at some of the bench options, they're probably not going to be right for the picking, I don't think. Jay-Z, is it his lowest score for the year? If not, it must be very close to it. But geez, we can't complain with what this bloke has done for us. He's still got a season average of 118.4, so I'll forgive him for a 90 type score. This is a man that I did bring in. Geez, it was a nerve-wracking moment. Do I, don't I? But in the end, I did pull the trigger. I thought that his role's too good to ignore. The numbers are there. The price, that was really friendly. It was about 400k, just above 400k, so I think he's gone up around 45, 50k, which is absolutely fantastic for me. And that's why I didn't end up bringing RCD, because I thought, well, I can upgrade to a Hall type and he's still going to make some pretty good cash. So that was another big reason why I decided to upgrade, because he was at a really friendly price and he was basically guaranteed to go up in price this week. Jarman Impey, 82. Again, I like the look of his game. I think it was okay, but just one of those rounds, I suppose. Dusty, the man was finally back, so hit the scoreboard 4 times, a couple of nice soccer goals, and it really didn't look like his foot injury was really hampering it at all. I think he was the difference at the end of the day between Richmond winning or losing, but if you're a non-owner, you can still get him at a really decent price. Look, 425k, I got him for about, what was it, about 550 odd, 540 odd, I think, in round 3, so I think he's showing now that you can select him with a little bit more confidence. Some of you may be a little bit worried still. You might want to see another week of good form, but I'd pretty much recommend to get him this week if you haven't got him, because I think the man is back in form. You don't have to get him this week. You can even probably wait one more week to grab him, but I think what I saw from him the other night, that was good enough for me. Chad Warner, another one of these blokes, so we've got some decisions. 58, I really want to see a 70-plus type score, particularly given the fact that he was playing Collingwood, who aren't the best opposition. But 58, yeah, it may be time to move him on. Decisions for us this week, definitely. And Jimmy Rowe, geez, you would have been unlucky to trade him out a couple of weeks ago, because he's gone 81 and 80. Absolutely stoked, because I've had him on field both times, and that's really, really handy. I did win the rookie roulette this week. Well, in the forward line, I didn't win it because I didn't have many numbers to go with, did I? R2 was obviously not playing, and Wardman didn't get a gig. I was hoping he'd come in for Stringer, so a little bit disappointed about that. Worried he could be a bit of a dead rookie at this stage. And R2, yeah, I'm not sure how it went in the VFL, but I'm just got my fingers crossed that he comes back some stage soon. So that's how the team is looking. I know I didn't go into great detail at all, but I do just want to pump this one out. And we'll go into, obviously, a lot of detail with the Q&A with Jords tomorrow night, and then the stock market video as well. So quickly, my trades, I really haven't thought about it, to be quite honest. But look, I don't know who's going to be on the bubble this week, if there's going to be anyone decent. I think to myself, do I get RCD in? I know it's a week late, but remember, I did make a fair bit of money bringing in Aaron Hall. Look, if I do bring in RCD, the move will probably be Tommy Powell out. Look, I'm loath to bring him in because we know that Richmond have a lot of players to come back, but I was just super impressed with what he did on the weekend. And I think he probably comes in, sorry, I don't know whose number that is, in place for Jack Ross type. So we'll see what it looks like. So you bring him in, I've got 362k in the bank, and that opens up a lot of possibilities. Look, the man that I really want to bring in is, well, the men that I want to bring in are either Cam Guthrie, Jared Lyons, or Jack McRae. But the issue is that I'm pretty comfortable playing Jordan and Conley Dawkins on field. So the other bloke that I was considering, and I haven't been a fan of him all season, but recent form you really can't deny, would be Dane Zorko. So who comes out? Well, the most logical solution would be Warner, but again, I really rate him. I'm not going to trade out Rowie after 280s. He's got some more money to make, whether his Warner's going down. Scott, not too keen to trade him out. I like his DPP, I like the swing, and he has been in pretty good form, so probably not a candidate to trade out. And pretty much no one in the back line. So, yeah, it's most likely, if I do go through with any trades this week, I may just sit on my hands this week because buys are coming up. And when you're looking at upgrades, you really, well, I prefer to try to get them after they've had their buy rather than a couple of weeks beforehand. So it's a little bit tricky how to balance that, but it'll either be Warner out for Dane Zorko or Warner out for a Lions Cam Guthrie type, or even a Jack McRae. I'm not too sure, but I certainly do have a few options up my sleeve if I go with RCD. There may be a cheaper bubble boy that I could get around 117, 123k, which would be ideal, but I was just super impressed from what I saw from this man over the weekend. So we'll see how we go in regards to the trades. I haven't even thought about it, as I said, just throwing a couple of ideas out there. So I'll leave it there for now, guys. Hope that your round went well. Take care, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Cheers, bye.